To discuss the latest on Ebola, as well as the battle against ISIS, we are pleased to be rejoined by Representative Ron DeSantis of Florida, who is checking in on the phone. Javier Manjarres of the Shark Tank political blog here with me at the anchor desk. Congressman, let's get to you. The screening protocols go in place at JFK and 4 other airports. It's JFK tomorrow, 4 other airports by next week. Are you frustrated? Is this too slow a rollout?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think I would err on the side of caution. I would impose the flight restrictions, and then, they'll say at the CDC, oh, well, then we may not be able to get people in to help. Well, you can have a general ban, and then if you do have people going in to help, create exceptions as need be. But I don't have a lot of confidence that the government's going to get this right.
So it's not just the spot check at the airports. You want to go ahead and see a travel ban imposed, and we've heard from the CDC director that it'd be problematic getting people in and out. Seems to me you can charter planes or, as you mentioned, make exceptions in this case. We just saw a video earlier, Congressman, a man sneezing and actually joking about having Ebola on a runway in the Dominican Republic on a flight bound for the U.S. Boy, they stepped up and didn't take any of that foolery. An overreaction, or in the scheme of things, a wise move?
Well, just picture yourself. There was a guy from Liberia in Newark who was puking on the flight, and they tested him, and thank God that he ended up testing negative. But you wonder, how was he able to get on the flight from there if he was showing signs of being sick? And so if you're a passenger on that plane and you see something like that, you're in a captive situation. I think a lot of people would be very, very alarmed to see that.
Fair enough. Let me turn to you, Javier. Van Jones, the veteran leftist, is publicly saying Democrats need to use this whole Ebola thing as a political tactic. We've seen it in some races in terms of funding for government programs on pandemics. Will that be successful?
No, I don't think it will, because I think people see right through what it is. They're exploiting a situation that's obvious, like I said yesterday, has killed thousands of innocent people around the world. And again, it just speaks of the desperation of the Democratic or the liberal wing that Van Jones belongs to of the party. I don't think it's going to work for them.
Yeah, I think it's pretty tough to figure party registration when it comes to Ebola. The contagion doesn't check party affiliation. Ron, a couple of minutes remain, 2:30 to be exactly. And so, Congressman, we want to get your perspective on the battle against ISIS. A lot of talk this week about the nation of Turkey. What do you think their latest commitment is on actually getting involved in the coalition?
Well, I don't have much faith that Turkey is going to do very much of anything. If you look at the president there, he is very sympathetic with the Muslim Brotherhood. He's an Islamist. And so while he may perceive a threat from ISIS, ultimately he supports a lot of the Sunni Islamist movement, particularly those who are fighting Assad in Syria. And they absolutely hate the Kurds. So he would rather see ISIS take Kobani if it meant a defeat for the Kurds. So this is an individual, Erdogan, who is not a steadfast ally of the United States and does not share our interests, which is ironic because Turkey's a member of NATO.
Fair enough. Hey, let me ask you one other thing, Ron. We all saw the videotape. The FBI appealed to the public about the jihadist who they said had a, quote, North American accent. Talk is they're closing in on a guy. Have you heard anything more about that?
I haven't, but I'll tell you, I saw the FBI director on 60 Minutes this weekend, and he basically said that, yeah, we track these guys, but they're entitled to come back to our country if they have a passport, even if they've joined ISIS. And to me, I think that's unacceptable. If they've joined ISIS, we cancel the passport, and they are now an enemy of the United States. And
Ted Poe has a bill dealing with that. Have you signed on as a co-sponsor?
I'm supportive of it. Since we're at a session, I don't know if I'm actually on it, but we need to do that. Secretary Kerry, he has the authority to cancel the passports, but he hasn't done it. So if we've confirmed a dozen people with ISIS, I don't know what we're waiting for.
Fair enough. Congressman Ron DeSantis checking in via phone, and our good friend Javier Manjarres. Just one quick note to you, 20 seconds. They said a North American accent. Why don't they go ahead and say probably an American?
Well, because they don't want to say that, because it'll put even more scare into American people that, hey, we actually have these homegrown terrorists living amongst us.
I had to get that in, Javier, because of the political implications. We all know politics comes before, sadly, a lot of public policy. Lots more to talk about. We'd like your reaction. Why don't you tweet me at NewsMax TV, #America's Forum.